In this week's Parsha, after 40 years of the Jewish people traveling in the desert, they're about to enter finally the holy land of Eretz Yisrael. And there's a nation called Moab, whose king, Balak, is being threatened. He feels threatened. The Jewish people had destroyed several nations on their way over, and he, even though there's no command, in fact, we're not supposed to attack them at all, he's a little bit concerned. So he hires a prophet by the name of Bilam to curse the Jewish people. And of course the famous story is every time Bilam opens his mouth to curse the Jewish people, Hashem makes a blessing come out of his mouth. But from those curses that turn into blessings, we can learn a lot of lessons about what it is that the Jewish people really symbolize. In Bamidbar 23:10, Bilam says, Tamot nafshi mot yesharim. He wishes that his soul would die the death of the righteous. Now, is he that depressed? Is he fixated on death? Is he emo? Does he care that much about how he dies? Or is there something else going on? Rav Hirsch says that what he was saying was, after seeing the Jewish people, after experiencing them, what he realized was their life is holier than some people's deaths. The Jewish people live such a holy life. They give up so much of themselves for the sake of mitzvot and for the sake of Hashem. One example I heard recently is the story of Tamir Goodman. Now, there are a lot of stories to tell about him, because he did a lot of great things. But in 1999, Sports Illustrated called him the Jewish Jordan. He had great potential. He was an amazing basketball player in high school, and all the colleges wanted him. However, he's Shomer Shabbat, so he didn't want to play for any college that would make him play on Shabbat. That was quite a limitation. So finally he found a university that would take him, and the coaches were very grateful, and they were very supportive, and the teammates themselves just gathered around him and were really inspired by his sacrifice. He tells a story how one Thursday night they played a game, played really hard, played the entire game, and he was very tired. But after the game, the team went to a non-kosher restaurant to eat, and he couldn't, of course, join them because it was not kosher. But he drank the water, and that's all he had to eat. And then he went to bed. And the next day, it was a Friday, it was a fast day. The only fast day it could have been is Asara B'Tevet, and so he was fasting. But he still had to go through all the usual routines and all the usual practice and everything else. And they got on a bus to a trip to their next town for the game that would be the next Saturday night. And it started to snow, and he couldn't get off the bus, but he had to. Shabbat was coming up. The bus was too late to their place, and so he had to get off the bus. And he told the coach, "I'm sorry, I have to go. I'll find the team. I'll get to you guys the next day." The coach said, "You have to be on time. You have to be there at 12 noon." He says, "Okay, I'll do my best, but I can't promise anything." So he gets off the bus. He finds a home with a mezuzah. He keeps Shabbat there. Friday night he finally eats. Saturday morning, after davening, after doing whatever he has to do, he walks another couple of miles to the next destination, also in the snow. Finally finds the college. He's 15 minutes late. The coach is very upset. He's very particular about time. And they play the game eventually Saturday night, and he doesn't do so well. The team loses. And on the way back, the coach tells him, because you were late to the practice, and because you didn't do so well in the game, you didn't play your hardest, when we get home, when we get back to our college, I want you to get everybody else can go to their rooms. I want you to go to the gym and run 50 suicides. That's when you run back and forth across the gym, have to bend over and touch the line in each end. And so he said, "Okay, I'll do it. What else will I do?" So everybody else leaves. He gets to the gym and he's running back and forth across the line from one side to the other. And it's difficult. It's a challenge. And eventually, he gets tired and he's losing hope. And he looks up and he notices his entire team is gathered around. And they said, "We're not going to go to our rooms until you're done. You're not in your room, we're not in our room." The people around us admire us when they see our sacrifice. Bilam sees the Jewish people. He's inspired by them. And he says, out of his own emotional feeling, I wish to die the way that I see them live. If I could only be like them. That's the kind of impact we can have personally, in our families, in our communities, and all around the world. Have a Shabbat Shalom.